again. I'll tell you.
I saw you briefly in 2016, particularly during the celebration of the 31st December, and you surfaced. Why did you surface? Because seriously, as a political watcher, I read too many things into it. And I remember I asked you that question, why you chose to appear on the Jerry Rawlings platform on that particular day.
31st December revolution does not belong to Jerry Rawlings. It belongs to Ghanaians. Because it's a watershed in the history of this country. It is the foundation and basis of the 1992 Constitution. And indeed, something that we all should cherish, and something that the principles of which we should deepen in our society. So to that extent, I have always been committed to the principles that are espoused, and I'm forever interested in promoting what that period stood for and what it brought in terms of the benefits that it brought to Ghana. Yes, there were many problems, many human rights issues, truly. But you know, we live in the real world, we live in society, and to forge and create a new destiny for Ghana in the context of where it was in 1982, where literally falling apart, is something that obviously has its costs. But I believe that 31st is something that we espouse, we support, and the principles of accountability and social justice are something that were central to the prosecution of the 31st agenda.
Were you worried about the interpretations that people placed on your appearance on that particular?
I was actually surprised. The outpouring of interest and support was very surprising to me. That wasn't my intention. My intention was simply to participate. And it was also at a painful time for NDC. And I felt that it was important for NDC to know that having lost an election was not the end of the world. And what was important was go back and reclaim the principles that made us so vibrant and so powerful a political force. And I believe we still can achieve that. And I felt it was important to convey that confidence to the mass of the NDC, who were dispirited and naturally so, after having lost so badly, the worst defeat they've ever had in the history of the NDC. So I think for those reasons, it was a worthwhile thing to do.
I believe in recent days and weeks, you've been following the leadership conversations within the NDC and who is to contest, and there's been a call on the former president, John Dramani Mahama, to come back. We've seen leadership, the national executives, some of them virtually rooting for him. For you, these conversations, what has it conveyed to you?
First of all, I think that the NDC has a very rich source of capable people. Capable both technocratically and also as political activists and politicians. And it's good to see some of them coming to the fore, like Mr. Babin and Alabi and so on and so forth. It's good to see a contest, because one of the things that Reform fought for was an open, transparent system of selecting leaders of the party, and that's been implemented now. It's a conversation that unfortunately is not generating very much by way of a program, what I want to do as a candidate for Ghana, for NDC and so on, which of course is the way our politics has become. We don't really talk about programs and how we're going to solve problems, but much more, I'm this, I did this, which is not something that I find very appealing, But we hope that OFG, whether I'm a candidate or not, will begin to turn that conversation around and make it more relevant and more meaningful to people on the ground.
You are capable of leading the NDC?
Well, it seems that some people think so, and hopefully...
I'm asking you.
I'm very capable of leading NDC and this country, no question about it.
Are you going to run?
It's an organizational matter, and in the next few days it will be decided. I'm one person in an emergent organization. It will be decided. And once it's decided, then I'll have to take it back, talk to my family and everything else. And sooner or later, there'll be an announcement, one way or another.
You said one way or the other. So so it means you're going to pick?
I'm considering it very deeply, but I'm in an organization, so I have to listen to what the organization says.
If they say pick, what are you going to do?
Then I have a duty. I have an absolute duty. Not only to the organization, but to NDC and to Ghana, to offer them among the best.
My final question. if Mr. Goosie Tanoh picks the nomination forms as a presidential candidate, would he win the candidature to lead the NDC into the 2020 elections?
If the system is fair, it's not rigged, why not? For sure. Absolutely. And I know what I'm saying. If it's not fair, if it's fair and it's not rigged, we'll win. No question in my mind.
It means what you just said is that
I'm very straightforward. I don't mess around. If it's fair and it's not rigged, we will win. And if we don't win and it's fair and it's not rigged, we will accept that. But our chances of winning are very great.
It means you are coming.
If the organization chooses me, I will. If they choose somebody else, I'll support that person. For sure.
Thank you very much for talking to me, Tony. God bless you.